Hello, learners, how are you? I believe all of you are safe and sound, and your families are safe and sound too. Well, at any given point in time, I would love to be called a learner rather than a teacher because learning is not confined. You can learn anything from anyone, anywhere, and anyhow, and at any time. But yes, when one is growing up, like from childhood to adolescence, the person learns a lot. We learn about how the world works, we learn about the realities, the hypocrisies, we learn about our own character. And the first story in the supplementary reader of class 11th book Snapshots is The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse by William Saroyan. This story also deals with the process of growing up and what are the other aspects associated with this particular process. It's a very simple story at heart, including simplest of the characters, the commonest of the countryside, but with a unique storyline as well as a very crucial lesson to be learned. Written by William Saroyan, and we have William Saroyan on screen. In his young age and in his old age, he belonged to Armenia. He was born on 31st August 1908 in California, United States, and died in the same place on 18th May 1981. He won the prestigious Academy Award for Best Story, and this he received for The Human Comedy, the book he wrote, and the book was then adapted in the form of a movie, and for that he received the Academy Award for the original story. He had received Pulitzer Prize for Drama, New York Drama Critics Circle Award for Best American Play. So you can understand that his works, may they be stories or novels, they were very entertaining, very enticing, and that is why they were adapted in the form of movies and dramas. So he was a popular man, and these are some of the books written by him. My Name is Aram, The Human Comedy. He had written stories also, like The Young Man on the Flying Trapeze and other stories by William Saroyan. And he has written books in his own native tongue, like Armenian language. And then they were further translated into various languages. So this story also belongs to the same genre. Now, coming to the theme of the story is about two poor Armenian boys who are fond of riding horses. Aram, 9 years old, and Murad, 13 years old, belong to the Garoglanian tribe, whose people were well known for honesty and trust. And this is a very important point, that the tribe and its people were known for honesty and trust for the past 11 centuries. Murad is able to steal a horse, and after enjoying riding for 1 month, he invites his cousin to join him in horse riding. Finally, they decide to return the horse to its owner as they did not want to bring any shame to their family. So, in the nutshell, you can say that this is the theme of the story, but how the story develops, that is quite interesting to see. So it doesn't take a lot of strength to hang on, but yes, it takes a lot of strength to let go. And when we come to the end of the story, we learn that the horse, the beautiful white horse, which was very much loved by these two boys, Aram and Murad, they finally let it go. And that holds the biggest lesson, that it takes a lot of strength to let go, but these children, they still did that. Now, coming to the characters, first of all, we have the one of the most important character, Murad. He is a 13-year-old cousin of the narrator, that is Aram. He is a lively and crazy person, but with love for his cousin, Aram, whom he offers the horse to ride for some time. He knows how to handle a horse, so he is a pro at that. And then we have Aram, the narrator of our story. He was a 9-year-old boy when he actually encountered this entire incident. He and Murad belong to the Garoglanian tribe. He justifies Murad's stealing of the horse for the purpose of horse riding, as they did not intend to sell it off. So that is the funniest aspect, because they had the horse for more than a month, But then Aram said that it's not about stealing. We did not steal the horse. Why? Because for these young kids, stealing was only associated with money. And because they were not selling off the horse, so of course it means that they did not steal it. And their love for the horse was immense. They wanted to ride it. Now let me give you an example. If this is an open area, if you go to an open area and if you have to ride a bicycle, if you have to ride a scooty, how much fun is that? I mean, the speed, the air around you, it's so much fun. So for these boys, riding a horse was that kind of fun. The speed and the beauty of the horse, the animal right beside you, and the air around you, it's so interesting and it's so mesmerizing. That is why they could not let go of the horse. And then coming to the other characters, we have John Bairu. He is a farmer and owner of the beautiful white horse, which was stolen by Murad. He is sad over the sudden disappearance of his horse a few weeks ago. And then we have another important character, Uncle Khosrow. He is the narrator's uncle who was considered to be a crazy man. He has been described as a man with a short temper and irritable nature. Then coming to the tribe to which this family, this entire clan belonged, that is Garoglanian family. They were known for their poverty. They had no money at all. Their whole tribe was poverty stricken. But most important of all was that they were famous for their honesty. Since a long time, they had built up a reputation for being proud and honest. They would never even take advantage of anyone. So these two young boys who had actually stolen the horse, they belonged to a family which was known for its honesty and trust. And people actually trusted them. Now coming to the story itself, Aram recalls of an experience. He remembers an experience when he was a 9-year-old boy. The world for Aram at that time seemed to be delightful and joyous. Murad, whom everybody considered crazy, came at 4 in the morning and woke up Aram by tapping on the window of Aram's room. It was summer, with daybreak just around the corner. Aram jumped out of bed and could not believe his eyes. Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. Murad asked him to be quick if he wanted to ride. Aram had always longed to ride a horse, but they were very poor and they could not own a horse. So he was surprised, wow, Murad is having a horse? I must ride it. They could not afford a horse. Then Aram's explanation about the white horse. Aram asked Murad if he had stolen the horse. Murad called him out instead of answering. Aram was sure that the horse was stolen as they were both very crazy about riding horses. To console himself in a childish manner, Aram thought that stealing a horse for a ride was not the same as stealing something like money. And that is how he justified everything, that we had not stolen the horse, we only kept it with us because we liked horses a lot, and it's quite okay to keep a horse if we liked it a lot. And because we are not going to sell it off, so yes, no money is involved, no stealing. It wouldn't have been stealing until they offered to sell the horse. And then Aram could not resist the offer and he got out. Aram got ready and jumped out of the window. As they lived on the boundary of the town on Walnut Avenue, there was the vast countryside full of orchards, vineyards and irrigation ditches. Let me show you. They lived in this beautiful countryside area, open spaces beside the orchards and vineyards and irrigation ditches. So there was a lot of open space where they could easily ride the horse. In a few moments, both Aram and Murad were having a wonderful time riding the horse. Murad started singing out of excitement and enjoyment. So this much they loved horses and horse riding. Coming to an important part, the family's crazy streak. Murad was considered the natural inheritor, that is successor, of the crazy streak of their tribe. Before Murad, Uncle Khosrow was considered as crazy in the family. Khosrow had a powerful head of black hair and the largest moustache in the San Joaquin Valley. Murad was considered a crazy boy. Though his father, Mr. Zorab, was a practical man without having any crazy streak. So let me tell you about Uncle Khosrow. Uncle Khosrow was a very furious man in temper, so irritable, so impatient that he stopped anyone from talking by roaring. He used to shout all the time. And he used to always say, "It is no harm, pay no attention to it." And there is an incident given in the book that once his house was on fire and his son came to the barber shop where he was, and he said that, "Father, the house is on fire," and he suddenly started shouting, "It is no harm, pay no attention to it." And the barber said that, "Your son is saying your house is on fire." And then he again said the same thing, "Pay no attention to it, it is no harm." So that kind of crazy and furious fellow he was. And Murad was considered the natural descendant of this man. So a man could be the father of his own son's flesh, but that did not mean that he was also the father of his spirit. So the same happened here. Zorab, Murad's father, was a very simple man, but his son was completely opposite to that. And he took all the character traits of Uncle Khosrow. That is why they called him the natural descendant of Uncle Khosrow. Then coming to riding again, Aram rides the horse alone. After enjoying the horse ride together, Murad wanted to ride the horse alone. Murad kicked the horse and it started running. After 5 minutes, Murad stopped. Now, Aram also wanted to ride the horse alone. Murad was not sure that Aram could ride the horse alone, as he did not know that how to control a horse. Aram leaped on the back of the horse and for a moment felt a fear like he had never felt before. So you can see in the picture, the expression on Aram's face show that yes, he was completely afraid at that moment. Once you're on the horse, you don't know how to ride it. The animal is beyond your control. It can just start running. It's not a machine. On scooters, we have the brakes, we have the speed in our control. Everything is on our control. But with the horse, it is not the case. And he felt that fear suddenly. He kicked into the muscles of the horse and then the horse started running. But instead of running across the field, the horse ran to the vineyard and leaped over 7 vines before Aram fell. So clearly Aram was not as a good master in riding the horse as his cousin Murad. Murad came running as he was worried about the horse. He was not worried about Aram but horse. He wanted to get hold of the horse and take him back before anyone could see it. The horse got lost. Both of them searched for the horse in different directions. It took half an hour for them to find it. So they finally found it, but the horse has to be kept somewhere. And then the boys decided to hide the horse. It was morning and Murad was thinking either to take the horse back or hide it until the next morning. Aram concluded that Murad was going to hide it. Aram again asked Murad if he had stolen the horse. Murad avoided answering the question. He told Aram to tell everyone that they started riding the horse that very morning. If someone found out, they took the horse to the deserted vineyard of a farmer named Petwahian and hid it in the barn. So Murad very clearly mentioned to Aram that if anybody asks that when did you have the horse with you, say that we had it recently. But Murad had the horse with him for about a month. And then he decided to hide it in a deserted vineyard. So deserted barn of a vineyard. So we have the vineyard and then we have the barn. And barn is basically a storage unit in which you can keep the harvest, you can keep the equipments required. And it was deserted because there was nobody there. Nobody would go there also. It used to be always empty. That is when they decided to keep the horse there. Then comes John Byro. In the afternoon, Uncle Khosrow came to Aram's house for coffee and cigarettes. Then another visitor arrived, a farmer named John Byro. He said that his white horse, which was stolen the previous month, was still missing and untraceable. John Byro also explained that his carriage was no good without a horse and he had to walk 10 miles to reach there. So let me show you that how important the horse or the horses are for the farmers living in the countryside. They have to cover long distances and they have to carry a lot of things. So in such a situation, the horses work a lot for these farmers, and because his horse was stolen, missing, he could not help it anymore, and he could not carry all these things by himself. His carriage was absolutely useless without the horse, and he had to walk 10 miles, so he was suffering a lot. And Aram came to know all this, and then he went to Murad and told him about John Byroe. Aram went to Murad and informed him about John Byroe's visit. He further informed Murad that he should not return the horse until Aram had learned riding. So, up until now, they were not ready to return the horse. It really did not matter to them, and they were not at all afraid of any consequences. Murad replied that it would take him a year to learn, and they could not keep a horse for 1 year, as it would amount to stealing. Finally, they decided to return it after 6 months to its true owner. Then one morning, they were on their way to the vineyard when they encountered John Byroe. He inquired about the name of the horse with them. Murad said that its name was My Heart. And this shows that how confident Murad was. The two boys were with the horse, the white horse that actually belonged to John Byroe, and John Byroe was in front of them. Still, Murad was never out of his confidence level. John Byroe kept observing the horse very keenly. The farmer looked into the horse's mouth and found that the teeth matched those of his stolen horse. He said that he could swear that the horse was his, if he did not know their parents and the fame of their family for honesty. But the horse appeared to be the twin of his stolen horse, and this is that when you're struck with lightning, that then it occurred to the boys that people trust them. Why? Because they belonged to their family, because their family was known for honesty and trust. And that is when early next morning they decided to return the horse. So early the following morning, the boys took the horse to John Byroe's vineyard and left it there. The dogs followed them silently. Aram thought they would bark. Murad said that he had a way with dogs, and that's why they did not bark. Now Murad, like Uncle Khosrow, had this punchline all the time, like I have a way with horses, I have a way with farmers, I have a way with dogs. And this shows that how confident he was, that he could handle anyone, may it be John Byroe, may it be the horse, may it be the dogs. That very afternoon, John Byroe came to the narrator's house. He was very happy and thanked God that his horse had become stronger and better tempered. Uncle Khosrow again shouted at him to be quiet, as his horse had been returned. Now coming to the ending, that what actually happened in the ending, why did the boys return the horse? Let's see. The story gives no indication that the boys were afraid of anyone or anything. Hence, the return of the horse was not directed by fear. Secondly, they were not at all conscience stricken up to a particular point of time. They did not feel any pangs of repentance or remorse at their action of stealing a horse solely for the purpose of riding it. Later on, yes, they were struck by their conscience when they realized that they belonged to a family which was known for its honesty and trust, and they could not put a stain on it. The last phrase gives a clue to their mental makeup. Murad had the horse for over a month when farmer John Byroe visited the narrator's house. They retained it for 2 more weeks. Murad outrightly rejected the narrator's suggestion of keeping the horse any longer. It was his family pride that would not let him steal. He decided that the horse must go back to its true owner. The meeting with John Byroe proved conclusive. He praised their family for its honesty. He trusted the boys as he knew their parents. Hence, in order to uphold the family tradition and reputation, the boys returned the horse to its rightful owner, and that is how the story comes to an end. And this is the message that the story gives. As we grow older and wiser, we begin to realize that we need what we need and what we need to leave behind. Sometimes there are things in our lives that aren't meant to stay. Sometimes the changes we don't want are the changes we need to grow. And sometimes walking away is actually a step forward. So while these boys were growing up, while these boys were enjoying the beautiful white horse, they realized that what they need to let go of and what they have to keep. They had to let go of their ambitions, their petty ambitions to be really correct. They had to let go of their cravings actually, and they had to retain the trust, honesty of their tribe, their family, their parents. And when they were taking a step back, letting go of that white horse, they were actually moving forward and learning more about themselves. More importantly, they were outgrowing their previous character trait, and that is how they grew in intensity. So, this is the end to the story. Hope you liked it. But my suggestion to you is go through the story, read it again, and you will find it quite enjoyable. With this, I would like to close it for today. Thank you.